Yeah. What do you think? I feel like I can hear something, so I can hear myself. Okay, so apparently we just missed a lot. So we're going to try to recap that because that was live. So we're going to try it again, and we're going to have Morgan tell you about the studio just for your benefit. Okay, so welcome to the studio. Maybe you'll hear with that. We're located down in Toronto on 715 West Street. Here is our first opportunity to get to talk to customers in person and let them know what type of products we offer on our website and what the different qualities you can achieve working with us. One of the biggest services that we offer here is remote design services. So if you have something that's working on, you can't get it exactly how you want it, bring it on into the store and we'll have you linked in with a designer to get it exactly how you want it and put it on any type of product from business cards, t-shirts to presentation folders. So we're really trying to provide services that help small businesses get on the same level as the big businesses without having to bring on that price point. Yeah, definitely. And what I was explaining earlier was that it feels like you're walking through the website and you get a chance to really pull cards that I would love to just grab. Jessica, if you could grab a few of those right next to you, because they have the postcards in different sizes and different textures, and you can pull them and take them home and see exactly what you're looking for. So, for example, if you come in and you want something that's glossy and it's 115-pound paper standard postcard, you get to pick one up and see what it feels like and take it home.
One of the great things is as you walk through the store, you get to pick the size you want and all the finishes. Sometimes you can't tell from the website what the finish is, what kind of finishes they feel like or see like.
Who knows what 115-pound paper feels like?
No one.
I don't.
So you get to see it and hear it in the store.
Right. So usually, when you order something, I know for me, I'll open the box and it's like, okay, so this is what I ordered. I have no idea. But now you at least know before you order what you're getting. So that's everything about the Vistaprint Studio. It's really cool in here. You need to come and check it out if you're ever in this area. Or if you're not in this area, just come downtown and check it out anyway.
Come visit.
So enough of us. We are going to introduce Sacha. So Sacha's with the FeONA company, and she's going to tell you all about the company, and she has lots of information to give to you about branding for your business. Because one thing I often admire whenever I see her at shows, I'm always like, oh my gosh, everything is just so cohesive. You're really good at this branding. And she's going to tell us her secrets, because I know I need them. Okay? So, Sacha.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and to talk about branding. But first, of course, I do need to say big thank you to Duania. Thank you, Canadian Small Business Women, and having me here this evening. Vistaprint, thanks for hosting this event. And like they said, it's an incredible experience when you walk through the store. And Vistaprint really gets touch marketing right when you really need to feel it and visualize what it is that you want to create in your brand collateral. This is a great place to come by and take a look at all the different items that they have. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about myself and the FeONA company and the FeONA box. You okay? Dwayne is like eyeing me. I'm like, is he okay? So just a little bit about me. I have a beautiful family, a husband that I really appreciate the support that he gives me. We've been married for 18 years or actually together for 18 years, married for 12, and we have two beautiful children, Jordan Presley, who's 11, and Cal, who's 3 years old, and I do everything for them. Some fun facts about me. I like long strolls on the beach, and no, I'm kidding. But one thing that people do find pretty humorous, but I stand tall and proud, is the fact that I am really a huge New Kids on the Block fan. So if you ever wanted to know a little tidbit fun fact about me, and that's that I really, really love them. But in all seriousness, I'd love to tell you about my company, which is the FeONA company. And it's really my passion to help female entrepreneurs achieve success. And we do that through offering services such as success tips and inspiration through our YouTube channel and our Facebook group. We offer promotion through digital platforms as well as video production. And we are going to be launching online courses to help female entrepreneurs grow and take their businesses to the next level. And a major focus of ours is the first Canadian subscription box for female entrepreneurs called the FeONA box. And it's really an opportunity for you to have a guilt-free experience of treating yourself while you invest in yourself. Oftentimes, we're always busy serving other people, and rarely do we get a chance to service ourselves and really take that moment to care for ourselves and indulge. So that's where the FeONA box comes in. It's a box of curated goodies with female entrepreneurs in mind, mix of lifestyle, mix of self-care, and as well business building tools that's mailed directly to your house every other month. So thank you so much for allowing me to share a little bit about me and the FeONA company. And I'm really excited to just dive into our topic at hand, which is branding. So regardless if you Google it, if you have a conversation with a strategist or YouTube it, when it comes to branding, the first thing that people are going to say is that branding is not about your logo, color, font, website, or your name. It really, that's just only one aspect of branding, and we're really going to dive into what it is that takes a brand strategy and having the different elements of a brand. And although brand aesthetic is one part, what you really need to understand in terms of creating a brand strategy is knowing your why, knowing what your values and what your vision is for your company. You really need to know your clients, what their joys are, what their pain points are and frustrations, and you really need to know your messaging and what you want to convey as a company. And in order to get that messaging, you really have to understand what it is you're branding. And then, of course, the brand aesthetics is also another element. So we're going to go through all of these things during our chat. Does that sound good with everyone? Okay, great. So your brand strategy defines your business, what your business stands for, and it also conveys the promises that you make as a company. So the first part we want to talk about is knowing your why. It's almost quite a catchphrase nowadays, isn't it? But I want to turn to the audience, and I'll give some time for people who are on the chat live through Facebook to maybe put some comments as to why you think it's important to know your why. And if anyone has any feedback, we'd love to hear why you think it's so important to know what your values and what your why is for your business. Anyone have any feedback to share? It helps you keep motivated for the ups and downs of your business. Yeah, for sure. Why else do you think it's important that you should know how to articulate what your why is for your business? Do we have any comments on Facebook? Well, exactly. You don't know how to promote your business if you don't know what your reason is for selling your products and services. So great answers. And that's exactly it. If just to reiterate what everyone is saying, you really need to understand what it is. You're like getting a deeper understanding of why you do what you do is so important. And I actually would like to share, if I can, my why. If technology is on our side and we're able to flip to a video. Yeah, perfect. Nope. Okay. So just because it's, I'll just read it to you because we aren't able to play the video, but I come from a blended family, and it's something that wasn't so prevalently known in the past, where being a blended family, and I ethically stood out, or more so stood alone, because no one was ever from the same place that I was from. I was very much shy and an introvert, and we moved around a lot, so it really made it difficult to have long life friends. I was also witness to pain and abuse where I wasn't brave enough to always stand up for those that were suffering around me. And those were my early childhood years. And as I grew up, we finally settled into an area, and I was able to make some friends, and some of them are still by my side today. I accepted my ethnical diversity and learned to break out of my shell, but it took a lot of time to do so. What I craved emotionally was as a girl was a sense of belonging and a sense of wanting to always help. And after reflecting on my past and my career journey, I realized where my sense of empathy came from, why I love to help people, and why I always wanted to try to make everyone feel included. So I realized also that standing out is a good thing and to embrace it, and always wanting to encourage other people to do that. So that's my way of helping female entrepreneurs. And I spent many years wondering what my passion was. And after really reflecting and creating my why story, I now know what it is and what it is to help women, other women, and encourage them to do well in their business. So I encourage you to write your story and take that time and really go through the process of creating your why story. So if you want to go back to the slide really quickly, I have some questions to help you guide you along the way. And some of those questions you can ask yourself when you're trying to develop that why is, what is your mission for your business? What's your purpose? What do you envision your brand to be? What do you want others to see your brand to be? And what led you to doing what you do today? What are your values as a person and as a business? And what experiences do you think shaped who you are today? So, do we have a plug for this? Live TV. We're at 9% battery. I don't know. We have a plug. And maybe this is a good time also to ask any questions or have any comments that people may have for this portion of understanding and developing your brand strategy. Or if anyone has gone through this process in understanding, developing their why story or what their mission is, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, well, thank you for asking that. Well, actually, FeONA stands for Female Entrepreneurs of North America. So it is connected to who it is that I want to serve, but more so, to be quite honest, it does stem from me developing my client avatar, which is actually the next topic that we'll be discussing. So it's it came out of me developing my client avatar.
The reason why I got into this was because I realized that I'm Generation X, which is why my name is Gen X.
Nice. Love that.
The kids, the generation love their own social media. The generation above us are all over social media because they want their grandkids to do it. But our generation is too busy trying to run a business and have a family that we don't have time to learn a whole other language and a whole other skill set. So I did. And now what I do is I go and help others try to learn this too so that they can market themselves on social media.
Nice. That's great. Perfect. Does anyone else have anything to share, or should we move on to the next topic? Yep. Okay. So the next part is really understanding your client, and that is so important when it comes to developing your brand strategy. Again, does anyone know why it is important to go through the exercise of actually creating, and actually let me just say, whether it's target market, what do you call it? If you call it target market, if you call it client avatar, client base, whatever the case, you need to know who your clients are, and all of those things really mean the same thing. So why do you feel it's so important that you know who it is that you're marketing to? I mean, it may sound silly to people for me to ask, but let's go through the exercise anyway.
I wouldn't know where to spend their money.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Anyone else want to put their 2 cents in? Why it's important to know who you are, who your client is? Oh, sorry. It was a toonie. That was a toonie.
We also need to learn how to speak the language. We need to know really what they're trying to see, how you can help them. So it's also like a little intense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure you've heard this saying before, you market to everyone, you market to no one. It's really important that even though you may have a vision of what your client is, it's important to go through more of a methodical exercise to really hone in on who that is. And in the beginning, it's really just taking those top level demographics, male or females, married or single, like going through all of those steps. What are their interests? What's their income? Where do they live? And going through all of those things, and then dig a little deeper. What are their pain points? What are their worries and what are their concerns? Because when you do know those things, then with your product or your service, you can then provide those benefits, those results, those solutions, or maybe those reliefs to your client. So sometimes you were saying it was a little bit of a tasking exercise to go through. Yeah, it is for many people. And great way to start, if you already have some clients, is to think of your top client and who are they? What are their sort of demographics? And then why do you think that they buy the things that they do? And we have social media, we have digital platform at our fingertips. Do some creeping. I mean, I don't think anyone in this room has never done some creeping. So go on their social media and see what are their interests. And then look at your competition and look who's following them and find out, go to those profiles. I mean, it takes a little bit of time. Like I said, it's a little methodical, but when you go through that process and you actually search out and look for all of those things that really shape your client, it really helps you to, like you said, speak their language and really know where they're coming from and come from the perspective of your client to be able to market to your client. So knowing your client is so crucial. Make sense? Okay, good. I don't know. I know you wanted to pause at some time or interject. Is this the time? Would you want to come in and say some of your public announcements or
My PSA?
your PSA?
Okay. I was told I should project, so I'm going to try to use my teacher voice. Is this good, Kelly? So there are just a couple of things. First, I know I need to do some really things. In the other camera view, you're probably seeing some really, I'm going to say delicious because I've been eating them a lot. Great treats by Georgie Porteous. Now, let me tell you, I wish she had captured the moment when I bit into the shortbread cookies, but she didn't by camera. And you probably should have captured the moment when I bit into the red velvet cupcake because it's a true red velvet cupcake. So yes, oh yeah, that'll be mine. Oh, wow, okay, great. So I definitely want to thank Georgette, and I definitely would like to thank A1 because they supplied us with some delicious samosas as well for the event. And of course, I'm thanking Vistaprint. I always do. They are wonderful. We will be putting some links below this video of a lot of offers that are coming through for the day, and we'll also be posting a link from you later on. And for the online audience and in-store audience, we do have some prizes at the end. So, Sacha, do you want to tell about yours first?
For everyone who is in the audience live here today, present at Vistaprint store, actually they have a chance to win the condensed boxes. So basically, we've had 2 boxes shipped out so far for the FeONA box. So they'll be receiving the product, the May box and the July box, and one lucky winner will take that home tonight.
And then
for those online, we have the July edition box that we mail to you. So once Wing tells us how that whole process is going to work, we'll get your email, your mailing address.
We'll come up with something really cool for the online one. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're commenting and liking and sharing, all that good stuff. And there's some other thank yous I need to have. So Amanda, she's with Avon. She also donated a door prize and some stuff in our swag bag. I think it's some pretty cool swag in the swag bag. If anyone looked through it all, some pretty good stuff. And Fit for Business has a free, I think it's a free half-hour consult, which is really good because it is also following up on what Sacha is speaking about, because Cheryl also does a lot of branding and marketing, so it all comes together. So there's that. What else do I want to talk about? I'm sure I'll be reminded in a little bit of what I probably forgot. But yes, I don't know if you want to continue. Oh, the video that we did not show, the link is actually below the video, so you all can check out the video later. What is the video about?
It's really just sharing my why.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so people
perfect.
get a little better understanding of why I do what I do and how I support women in business.
Excellent, love it. So I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, or do I talk right?
Is it not? Okay.
Okay.
So can they hear that? So we're going to take a minute just to try to fix the audio situation that we have going on. Yeah, our technical expert. Okay.
Okay. We can take this right away. Yeah,
Oh, just repeat the question, what they said. Okay. Okay. So they said it started to sound better? Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe I'll just try and like. Oh, we're not using that? Oh, okay.
Don't wait. So don't move from the top because don't touch the top at all. It'll slip right off. Oh, I don't want to hear it. So.
I'll try to project. I'm not much of a projector, but I will.
Right.
I didn't forget to thank you. The audience is probably harder.
Because we turned off that.
Are we still running live?
Yes, we are still live. So this is our live commercial break. So, okay. Okay. So we should have the audio back to normal now. So hopefully everyone can hear us. We will be posting details about the prizes underneath the video itself. And we'll get Sacha to get back to the second portion of her talk. And then I'll interject with some things at the end.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. So, going with the flow. Is everyone ready for us to continue the second part of our chat today? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So we talked about knowing your why and knowing your clients and why it's so important generally for your business and in developing your brand strategy. The next part is developing your brand messaging. So your brand messaging is really what makes the buyer relate to your brand. It inspires them, it persuades them, motivates them, and at the end of the day, ultimately gets them to buy your product or service. But what's really important is to know what it is you're actually branding and understanding that you need to develop your brand identity. There are really three ways to develop or three approaches to brand identity. And that is through branding yourself, branding your business as a person, branding your business as a product, or branding your business as a company. So I'm going to turn to the audience again, and I am curious if you know what Robbins Research International Inc. does. Does anyone know what Robin, and if you're really a hardcore fan, then you probably might know. So just for the purpose of this exercise, if you're actually looking at, if you see what I see, there's a lot of confused faces. But what if I told you, who knows who Tony Robbins is? Show of hands. Everyone knows. So this is an example of business really branding themselves as the person itself. Everything that Tony Robbins does is branded with Tony Robbins. You rarely hear Robbins Research International, right? Another example of branding your business as a person is Oprah, of course. We all know Oprah and what she stands for and what she does, and that's one example. So another way to identify your brand is through a product. So the easiest examples would be like Pepsi and Coke. I don't know if you have the same imagery that comes to mind when I do, but when I think of that, I always think of that can and it's someone drinking it or having some sort of really cool experience, but it's always about that can that you identify that brand with. So branding your company with a particular product is an approach that you can take with your brand messaging. Another way is branding yourself as a company. So Vistaprint, for example, Starbucks, Nike, these are all companies that brand themselves with the company in mind rather than a particular product or a particular person. So really knowing what it is you're branding is so important, and that really will help you in developing your brand messaging. And when you're developing that brand messaging, you're pulling your why, you're pulling your client avatar information, and then putting it together in terms of the message that you want to convey and what you want your clients to experience when they associate themselves with the brand. Another thing to think of when you're thinking of brand messaging is tone and voice. So oftentimes people get a little confused about what the difference is, and the voice is really the point of view or the personality of your brand, and the tone is the attitude. So the best example is to think of your voice as if you're marketing yourself as a funny company. Your tone would be, is it haha funny? Is it dark humor? Is it sarcastic? That's the tone. So really being aware of the way you want to convey yourself in terms of your voice and tone for your messaging. And that really moves into, as well, in terms of tone and voice, the brand aesthetic. And that to me is a fun part. It's where you are picking those colors and you are picking the fonts and your logo and all of those fun things. And when it comes to brand colors or really developing your brand aesthetic, it's really important, again, that you know who your audience is. And there's actually like color psychology that you can do some research on and understand what colors reflect what emotions, and you can really put it all together to be cohesive in what you're trying to represent. I actually suggest that you pick no more than 3 colors for your branding because it just could get too crazy. 2 is great, and you should try to utilize your colors by the 60-30-10 rule. So you're using that primary brand color at the forefront, and then your secondary about 30% of the time, and then that third color, 10% of the time. I actually have a resource sheet with a whole bunch of links when it comes to brand design, so you can always go back. We'll be able to send that to you, and just click on those links to help you if you are in that stage of your business where you're just starting to put together your brand and your brand design. And then when it comes to fonts, it's really there's 2 types of fonts. There's serif or sans serif, whether you have the little foots on the or feet on the typography or not. And then it's really important to pick the fonts that you think reflect your mood and your tone, your personality. So are you bold? Are you whimsical? Are you feminine? Are you modern? Are you classical? So there are certainly fonts that can be associated to all of these moods. And again, there's some great resources for you to click on and get that an idea. I mean, Google's most people's best friend, I think, when it comes to research. Whimsical font, you can Google it, and I'm sure there's going to be like so many options for you. And then in terms of what's really important about the fonts is making sure that it's legible and readable. So if we can flip to one of the slides right now, there is a particular image with respect to fonts that is stirring up the internet somewhat, and it's because of the font they chose and the fact that people are, I think it's before these resource pictures here. Yes, so the image, if you can see on your left, my favorite color is, at first glance, people are reading it as my favorite color is Hitler. And it's obviously not going over too well. That's really there. And then there's some, excuse the other examples, but these are really examples of some font fails. I mean, you might like the fonts, but maybe just really pay attention to the spacing of the lettering. People who are seeing live can see what I mean by some of the fonts that don't quite, getting some reactions here, work very well. So just really make sure that you've got the legibility and the readability of your font that you choose. I'm getting some reactions here in the crowd who's taking a look at the images. So logo. A lot of people spend a lot of time on a logo, and rightfully so. It's important. It really is identifier when it comes to your brand. The thing in terms of tips that I can offer, keep it simple, keep it memorable. I mean, oftentimes logos are built in a subjective way, but just keep it versatile and memorable. And there are basically 3 types of logos that could be created. One that's font based, like the IBMs and Microsofts. One that it literally illustrates what the company does. So there's imagery to reflect, like house painter. There could be like a house and a paintbrush. And then there's the abstract. So pick what really feels right for you. And again, keep in mind who your audience is and what you think they would resonate with. There are lots of different companies that can help you. One of the things I didn't mention earlier, when it comes to developing your brand strategy and knowing your why, knowing your clients and your brand messaging, those are some things that I wouldn't suggest that you hire someone to do. You can't just hand that over and have someone do that for you. You have to go through that exercise yourself, be able to convey what it is exactly that you want your brand to reflect. And when it comes to brand design, that's when you hand over your brand strategy and your messaging and give it to those experts. And that's when you're really able to have them interpret what your message is and come up with those logos and colors and fonts and suggestions. And then you work together to define that branding for you. I know Dwayne mentioned about cohesiveness and consistency. That's definitely something that I feel is very important when it comes to having people connect with your brand and know who you are. So keeping things consistent. So if you're branding your business as a person, then all of your social media profiles should be an image of yourself. If you're branding yourself as a company, then have your logo. But in any case, don't have your picture here, your logo there, a product there. Keep it all consistent. Every profile picture should be the same across all platforms. Your covers on your social media, they can vary a little bit, and maybe even some social media experts can pipe in here with their opinions. But keeping the profile at least cohesive, that's the key. And then of course, keeping your fonts and colors and consistent in terms of how you market yourself is so important as well. So I think I'll turn this now to the Q&A portion of the evening. So if anyone has any comments, feedback, questions, I'd be happy to answer. Oh yeah, come on in. Yeah, we can. But you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of on my third round of branding
Mhm.
because the first time I did it just based on my background, education. I was going
Right.
to work with educators, helping them find educational technologies,
Mhm.
but they really weren't that interested in using technology. So
Mhm.
having to sort of pivot and switch and figure out who my real customer was.
Yeah.
For me, I think the mistake was branded based on
Oh, let me turn that. Okay.
trying to sort of brand it based on what I thought
Mhm.
was going to be my target audience. So I've spent a lot of time getting the colors and choosing all the, designing the logos and
people do.
everything. And so now I'm at the point where I'm not doing it again until I actually have everything in place. I
Mhm.
know who they are, what I'm doing, and all of that stuff. Like I'm not changing it drastically, but
Right.
I need it to be more focused.
Right. Perfect. So hopefully some of the things that we talked about today can help you.
Yes, I hope so. As soon as I figure it all out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any feedback, or how's our online audience doing? Does anyone have any comments they can share? Dwayne is checking it out now. Yeah.
Okay, you've been talking before about
Yes.
it kind of reminded me of business. People get into arguments not because of what they say.
Sorry.
Arguments not because of what they say, but how they say it.
Yes.
So tone when it comes to business things, that's that kind of.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, you need to know your audience, right? So if you're marketing to a particular audience that appreciates that tone, then it works, right? But also, not all PR is good PR at the same time. So we have to always keep that in mind.
If they're starting out, they don't know who the audience is, how they're going to react. Again, they're going to go up there and they're going to be certain. Some people appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? You got to experiment, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. There's a bit of trial and error in that. Absolutely. Yeah.
I guess I'll speak. Another tip that I know I received once was, especially when you're sitting down thinking about who your ideal client is, it's always good to find that company or another company that can complement yours, that you might have some of the same ideal clients. So you can advertise with them. You guys can partner up to do certain things. So, for example, if you are running a yoga company, you would probably try to speak to someone who owns a health food company because it's going to be with the same audience. So, do you advertise at the health food store? Do you partner up with the health food company and see where they're advertising? And both of you now can cut that advertising cost in half and share that advertising space. So try to find businesses that complement yours. And it's also always good if they have complementing color schemes, right?
That's always a bonus.
It is a bonus. So it would be hard for me to want to team up with someone whose logo is like bright yellow.
You say, if you said bright pink, then we might have an issue.
Pink is good. Pink is great. But yeah, just try to think of the little ways that you can team up, because as small business owners, we don't have the massive budgets that a lot of these corporations have. So you have to find different ways to really maximize and stretch the budget that you do have. And that's really a good way. I like finding advertising partners. I like finding people who I know I can work with. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a good strategy.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of creating that brand design and overall brand strategy, again, go find out what brands you like and what appeals to you, and find find out why it is that you like those brands. What is it that stands out for you? Is it how they make you feel and what it is they do to make you feel the way you feel. Also look at potential competition. You know, if you have a particular company that you know you're going to go head to head in your mind as competition, then again, see what they're doing. Obviously, there's not about copycatting, but it's just about giving an idea of what it is that's making them connect to the clients, because those are the clients that you want to connect with as well. So do that research and due diligence.
And the one word that you use that really pulls everything together is how does your product make your client feel? Because a lot of us buy just based on feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So I know when I bit into that cookie, I know how I felt. So it's one of those things, right? So I know I'm going to want more cookies because it made me feel really good.
And I know because you felt that and when you're talking about it, I want to bite into the cookie.
I only talk about things that I like. So I'll be talking about this for a while. Be dreaming shortbread. Yes. And Danielle is biting into a cookie right in front of me. But yeah, so you always want to evoke that feeling, you know, that tingly feeling. You want your product to be nostalgic. I can give an example of my 9 to 5 where I want an ice cream truck to come to our facility, and I am like really hounding our GM. Like I'm getting, it's in the budget, we're doing it, and the ice cream truck is coming. It's like, well, why don't you just buy some tubs of ice cream and just get all the sides and have everyone just take ice cream? Like, let me try to explain to you why. Do you remember the feeling that you get when you go up to the ice cream truck and you get that cone? Please understand how happy your staff will be at the end of the day. He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, okay, you're welcome. Because people will be happy. Who won't be happy after getting something from an ice cream truck that you did not have to pay for at lunch? Yeah. They'll be happy to do the work for the rest of the day. So it's all about the feeling. Ice cream in a tub is great. Ice cream from an ice cream truck, even better. Yes.
Would like to know, hey, how did you come up with this idea for this company and how did you build?
Ah.
Hey, Heather. Thanks for tuning in. So, Heather is asking, why is this?
Or how did you come
How
up?
did I come up with the company and how others can help me? Well, thanks for tuning in. So how did I come up with the company? So really it came from, I've been in this space of supporting female entrepreneurs for a couple of years, and one of the women that I came in contact with had a subscription box for children. It was a crafting box. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. I didn't really get the idea. She explained to me what the business model is. It's really going back to, you know, back in the days when we used to subscribe to magazines and that whole idea of that ongoing service that you get. So I really thought, oh, that's a cool idea. And oh, wouldn't that be cool for female entrepreneurs? And I kind of sparked the idea. But then in the past year, so many things would come my way that would spark me and say, I really need to think of that subscription box, whether it's articles I read about online trending and how that, like, quickly it's moving in terms of people purchasing online, or it's about being in touch and having conversations with fellow female entrepreneurs and seeing how hard they work. And how, you know, a lot of them are like, I'm so tired, I'm working so much, I really have time for myself. And hearing all of those things, I'm like, I really think that there's something here. And then it just came to that point where I said, you know what, I got to do this. But I also knew that for me, it wasn't all about the subscription box. It's a huge component of what we do with the FeONA company, but I really, really feel passionate about being that cheerleader for other women. And so that's really where it all stemmed from, and where the FeONA box, or the FeONA company was born. And one of the audience members asked, where does FeONA come from? Well, I was creating my client, and I said, okay, she's this age, she's this, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things that came up was, she's a female entrepreneur in North America, because I wanted to market to both Canada US. And I knew I wanted to start in Canada first, yay Canada, but eventually to the US. So it was female entrepreneurs in North America. And from there, I was like, ooh, there's an acronym there. I love it, and I'm going to use it. And that's where the company name came from. So everything sort of all came together.
And how can everyone help
And
you?
how can I? Ooh, that's well, it's really allowing me to help you. So maybe this is actually a good segue for some of the things that I'm offering.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're offering is video production in conveying your brand story and your why. So I know that, I mean, everyone should know really that market video is should be a huge component of your marketing strategy. And I want to be able to provide that production quality that goes beyond your selfie. So we are able to put together brand stories for you and actually have a post special an event special for people who are interested in filming their brand story and really conveying why they do what they do to post it on their digital platforms. So if you allow me to help you, then you're helping me. So one step to that as well is we offer success tips and inspiration on our YouTube channel, and that is no cost to you. It's really just your time, where you come in and you have a conversation with me, and we put a camera, pretend it's not even there, and have a conversation about your entrepreneurial journey, and you speak about your expertise, and that's something that I offer. Again, there's no charge, it's only your time. So if I can serve you in that way, that you come in and set up an appointment for that, then we can post it on social media, and it just helps with your marketing strategy as well. Yes.
Maybe you can have them put a link to your YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what
It's
they're
there.
all over that. But it's good to mention, yeah. So the comment was maybe they should put some links on, and I'm sure that they will or have already done that. So you can get an idea of what I'm talking about in terms of my YouTube channel, and really understanding the idea of the brand video. If again, the link is going to be shared as well, because that was something that.
What I meant is, when they want to help you, they can put that link on their Facebook.
Oh, and just share. Yes, socially share. Yes, please do socially share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we do hope that you're going to share this video, of course.
All right. Perfect. Any other questions? We have about 9 minutes left for this portion. If you have any comments or questions, now's the time.
Question of naming. How any tips on naming the company?
On naming your company?
To personalize something more related to what you do.
So the question was about tips
Come up with
on
a name.
naming your company. I personally usually give the advice of, if you don't have a massive marketing budget, please ensure that people understand what your business is about based on your name.
Yeah.
Because not everyone can be McDonald's, because now when you say McDonald's, you know exactly what it is. However, if I go out and I say Wania's, no one knows what that is. So you have to make sure that your name is going to somewhat convey your message, or at least the tagline with the name will convey your message. I don't know if you have any.
I think also going through the exercises that we talked about as well can help with coming up with your name and really trying to get an understanding of who your clients are, and testing it out and seeing, does it make sense to name it, Sylvie's research, or it is about free technology and helping people learn about free technology. So
So this is my name is like, it can go two ways. And people, the business type people will look at it as Sylvia's IT.
okay.
The creative people say Sylvia's it.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
Because I like that.
Well, that kind of works. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's about interpretation too, right?
Mhm.
And in two different client avatars.
Yeah.
I can see this. I find it interesting how people, when they look at or how they read it, because I would want to hear, are they going to say Sylvia's it? Or are they going to
Yeah.
say something like
Right. I find that really naming your company is effective to a point, and then you really need to turn it to who your potential clients are, or if you have clients, and get their feedback, right? I mean, it's really all about them.
It
really
is.
to see how they connect with it, and if it ties with them, right?
And it's good to get people involved, because if you already have a
sure.
few options, it's
Mhm.
nice to put it out there and have a poll, because then
Right.
your potential clients already feel like they're involved in creating your business.
I mean, the old school term for that is focus groups, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's different ways now to have those focus groups and on social as well, and get people's feedback on it.
Naming is very important,
Mm-hmm.
because I know for me, I went through quite an exercise with the name, because I wanted it to really try to convey the message.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first I did not want to be the one to convey the message. How many of you are really the face of your business? And you put yourself out there as the face of your business?
And honestly,
It's really good.
To be honest with me, that was a struggle. It's like, am I going to be the face and you see only like all about Sacha? But it's not all about Sacha. It's about FeONA.
Yeah.
People are starting to call me anything. But it's really about those women that I want to serve. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle in the beginning to see where or how the direction I was going to go. But it's not about me.
I say it's not about me, but I'm usually forced to make some of it about me, so that
Mhm.
I can show people who the person is behind
Yeah.
the business,
That's
because
true.
they always ask the question, and I get it from Kelly, and I get it from my mother, actually, because she's usually the one standing at registration and places like that, and she's always like, people keep asking me who's doing this, and they want to talk to the person who's running the show, and they have no idea who you are, and I'm usually okay with that. She's not. So,
My baby girl.
yes. So I have to start doing things like this,
Yeah.
and putting myself forward,
Mhm.
so that people can get to know the person, because they want to feel like they know who you
connection.
are, and that scares me a lot. But they want to feel like they know who you are before they can really interact with you. But thank you, sister.
So cute.
Thank you,
Hearts across the
Dujane.
street. Great, we love that.
So I'm putting myself out there. So yeah, so we have a few minutes. I think we would like to go through a couple more thank yous and draws and offers. Do you have something that you wanted to put up? So yes, do you want to talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
that?
So,
We just spoke about the video offer, so
oh yeah, sure. So just to reiterate, the video production offer that we're providing those who are tuning in is perfect, because I didn't actually see it on the screen. So for those that are interested, first off, if you're interested in being featured on our YouTube channel, there's no cost to you, it's only your time. It's really a matter of getting in touch with me and setting up that date. In terms of production where it's branded to your business, we have branded video that's available, as well as if you want to put together educational video content for your YouTube or other digital platforms. We have two different price points. For the brand video, that's usually about 1 to 3 minutes long, $127 plus HST, and that's in studio in Brantford. Again, it's elevating your message to the next level beyond your selfie, and be able to have a little bit more of a polished look. And if you are someone that is wanting to really showcase your expertise and provide some educational content for your clientele, how-tos or tips or anything like that, we can also film that and have it available, branded for your company. And that is at a price of $247 in studio in Brantford. So I'm offering that to the first 6 people, and it's available for the month of August. So we can set up a date in August to create these videos for you.
excellent. So there's the box.
And then
as
there's,
well.
and then of course,
Yes.
there's the FeONA box, which is a curated box sent directly to you. If you want to sign up and secure your spot or your box for September, we are offering those that sign up today, this evening only, at a discounted rate at $45, and that's especially for Canadian small business women. And you get, thank you, my helper. And that is available with the promo code, which will be put in the comments for you until tonight.
So everyone here is CSBW FB chat for that promo code. And we'll list some other links underneath the video. So we always have great promo codes from Vistaprint. I know a huge 50% off sale just ended yesterday, but if you go to vistaprint.ca/CSBW, is that correct? Am I lying? No, I'm not lying. vistaprint.ca/CSBW. And you can use the promo code CSBW17 and you get 20% off, and that's good for the year. So use it on anything you'd like. And I would like to do you want to do the draw for in here for the box?
Sure. How do you want to do that?
So in your bags, you'll have numbers CSBW17, I think, and I hope. Yes, you have it in the bags.
Did you write it out numerically?
So no, but if you have a number that whomever has a number, there's an index card with the number on both sides.
Don't show the number.
Whoever has a number that's closest to, you can go over or under, closest to the number 27. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I only said 27 because I thought, well, we're at 720 King. I can't say 72, so I should say 27.
I think it's that first box.
So it's the first box. And then for the online audience, we were going to randomly pick a name. So we already have a list. So
Or pick a number.
pick a number that corresponds. So let's go with the 7th person on the list. Oh, wow, Sandra. Okay, Sandra, you're a winner.
So I know Sandra and I have her address already.
Oh, so that works out.
So perfect.
And we also
Congratulations.
have another prize. It's an Avon gift pack from Amanda.
Ooh.
So if you have a number, Amanda, do you want to pick a number? And someone closest to that number. Or Daniela, you pick a number. Wait, no, 13? So who's closest to the number 13? You have 8? Who else? Anyone else? That's a 41. Closest to the number 13? So, Georgette. Yay! So you are the winner.
Congratulations to all the winners.
This lovely prize pack.
Nice.
All right, so I just want to do a quick wrap up. It's past 9 o'clock. So there are a few things that we have coming up. We have a Canadian Small Business Women Pavilion at the Summer Networking Bash. So if anyone is looking to promote their business I think I spoke to Jennifer yesterday, there are already over 700 tickets sold for this event. It's at the Old Mill on the 16th. And our space is going to be 8 cruiser tables. So if anyone wants to promote their business at a discounted rate, it's $200 to get your business there and to have access to our audience. And you get a ticket to attend. I do have tickets. Definitely the other one. And we also have our small business seminar, and we have 2 Immigrant Women Small Business Expos coming up. The links for all that will be below this video. And yeah, we have a lot of stuff, but I don't want to ramble. But I want to thank everyone for coming here tonight and checking out the Vistaprint studio. And if you haven't been here, you should come in and check it out. It will be worth your trip. And we definitely want to thank Georgie Porges. We definitely want to thank Sacha. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Amanda. And the person who makes all this go on and makes it seamless and makes us look good, Kelly from Teach Me Social. Thank you so much. She would be my lifesaver because a lot of times it's, Kelly, what's the password? Kelly, how do I do this? So yes, thank you so much. And I guess that's a wrap. And